I never thought I would be the kind of woman who would sit alone in a quiet room, replaying her entire marriage in her mind, wondering where exactly she started to lose her place in her own husband's life. When I married him, I believed I was stepping into a lifetime of love. He used to look at me like I was his world. Every morning, he would hold my hand like he was afraid to lose me, and every night, he would whisper that I was his forever. I trusted those words more than I trusted my own heartbeat. We were not perfect, but we were real, or at least I thought we were. I remember the little things. The way he used to bring me tea without me asking. The way he smiled when I laughed at his boring jokes. The way he would pull me closer during storms, saying, "I've got you." But slowly, something changed. At first, it was just small things. Late replies. Quiet phone calls. Sudden distance in his eyes. I tried to ignore it. I told myself I was overthinking. But deep inside, my heart was learning a truth my mind refused to accept. There was someone else. I still remember the night everything started to feel real. He came home late, again. But this time, his shirt smelled different. Not like work. Not like stress. Something softer, something that didn't belong to me. When I asked him, he just smiled and said, "You think too much." That sentence didn't just hurt me, it slowly began to break something inside me. Still, I stayed silent. I wanted to believe him. I wanted my life to remain the same beautiful lie I was living in. But what I didn't know that day was that my world was already slipping away from my hands, and I was the only one who couldn't see it yet. And soon, I would find out the truth that would destroy everything I believed about love, loyalty, and my own husband. I found out my husband was cheating on me on a Tuesday afternoon. Not because he confessed. Not because someone warned me. And definitely not because he felt guilty. I found out because of a message that wasn't meant for me. At that time, I had been married to Daniel for almost 11 years. We had built what looked like a beautiful life from the outside. A comfortable house. A successful business. Family vacations. Smiling photos on social media. People used to tell me how lucky I was. And honestly, I believed them. Daniel wasn't perfect, but I thought he loved me. I trusted him completely. I never checked his phone. Never questioned where he went. Never imagined he could betray me. Why would I? I had spent over a decade supporting him through every challenge. When his business struggled, I worked extra hours to help pay the bills. When he wanted to take risks, I stood beside him. When he celebrated victories, I celebrated with him. I thought we were a team. But what I didn't know that day was that the man I trusted most had been living a completely different life. It started with a notification. Daniel had left his tablet on the kitchen counter before rushing to a meeting. The screen lit up while I was making coffee. Normally, I wouldn't even look. But the message preview appeared before I could turn away. "Last night was amazing. I already miss you." My heart stopped. For a second, I convinced myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe it was sent to the wrong person. Maybe there was something I wasn't understanding. But deep inside, I already knew. One night, I finally asked him, "Do you love her?" He didn't even look surprised. Silence. That silence was my answer. Then he said something that broke me completely. "You don't understand me anymore, she does." In that moment, something inside me changed. It wasn't just pain anymore. It was awakening. I realized I could no longer stay in a place where I was treated like an option. I didn't cry in front of him. I didn't beg. I just nodded, like I had accepted my breaking point. But inside, I was breaking, and rebuilding at the same time. That night, I made a decision. If he had chosen someone else over me, then I would choose myself over everything. And that was the beginning of the end. I didn't plan revenge in anger. I planned it in silence. I started collecting everything quietly: messages, Proof, every hidden truth he thought would never come out. And then I stopped reacting. I became calm. Too calm. That confused him more than anything else. One evening, I asked him to sit with me. He thought I had finally accepted defeat. But I had already made my final move. I placed everything in front of him. Screenshots. Proof. Truth. For the first time, I saw fear in his eyes. Not anger. Fear. Because he finally realized he had lost control. I looked at him and said calmly, I loved you enough to forgive you, but I love myself more now to leave you. Everything collapsed after that. His lies were exposed. His double life ended. The woman he chose also walked away when truth came out. But I didn't stay to watch it all fall apart. I left. Not as a broken wife, but as a woman who rebuilt herself from silence and betrayal. Today, I don't feel hate anymore. I feel peace. Because I learned something powerful. Sometimes betrayal is not the end, it is your awakening. And his biggest regret? It was not losing me. It was realizing too late that I was the woman he should have never let go.